is not every day that a multinational corporation sets up shop in New Bedford, but today is one of those days. And we are here to announce proudly that New Bedford is the newest location, the newest site for Siemens AG, one of the world's premier energy and many other companies. And it is really, this day is really a culmination of a lot of work that's been done by a lot of folks here in New Bedford and on behalf of Siemens. And we've had this building relationship for a while, and now we have this office, and we hope in the years to come it's going to be more than just that. And I'll go into a little bit of what we're doing with Siemens and hopefully what we'll see in the future. But Siemens, just so everybody knows, Siemens is often referred to as the General Electric of Europe. Siemens is in the business, is in many lines of business, but most prominently they're in the energy business. They make turbines, they make energy systems for cities. They are in the business of God, what else, guys? Light rails, healthcare, light rail, electrical systems. I mean, you name it. If it has electrons flowing through it, and certainly if it's in Europe, it's Siemens, but even more so now in the United States. And they are a leader in one of our favorite industries here in offshore wind. They have about 70% of the turbine market in offshore wind in Northern Europe, where there are now some 80 utility scale wind farms in the North Sea, and hopefully in the years ahead, many in the North Atlantic. So we've gotten to know Siemens through our work in the offshore wind space, and they have their offshore wind headquarters, North American headquarters in Boston now in anticipation of the growth of that industry. But Siemens also is a leader in what are called energy service contracts, ESCO contracts, which are really energy performance contracts that many cities, including New Bedford, have entered into. Energy services contracts are agreements in which municipalities like ours agree to do retrofits of existing plant and facilities, so streetlights, municipal buildings, and other systems in exchange for payments that are effectively funded out of the savings that we derive from having LED lights, brand new high efficiency boilers, and other energy saving technology. So New Bedford's saving an awful lot of money through that ESCO agreement. It is, if not the largest on the East Coast, one of the largest on the East Coast, certainly the largest in Massachusetts. And we are going to be saving a lot of money. We estimate that we are going to save roughly $500,000, a little less than $500,000 a year on electricity costs associated with the conversion of all of our streetlights, some 10,000 of them, to LED technology. That's been in place for about a year now, and that's already saving the city lots of money. As we go forward into the next phase of our ESCO contract, we're going to be saving an awful lot of money still. We're doing some 15 schools, for instance, with energy retrofits that will save our school system and save the city itself literally millions of dollars over the next several years. So we're proud of that. Some actually 15 buildings, 9 schools, right? Is that the exact?
19 buildings, 9 schools.
19 buildings, 10 schools. So, and there's more work to be done. We're looking at taking it to the next level. And of course, in the years ahead, offshore wind is going to be hopefully big for New Bedford. We've certainly positioned ourselves better than any city in the Northeast and certainly on the East Coast of the United States to be ready for this industry. And we look in the next couple of years to what we hope, for good reason, will be a time when the industry really starts to take off, and New Bedford will be the place where it really starts to settle in. And Siemens is a huge player in that industry, and having a footprint here in New Bedford is both good for Siemens as it relates to that industry, as well as for New Bedford for obvious reasons in terms of potential for job growth in particular, but and investment generally. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is Siemens' commitment to working in our schools to further our STEM efforts and building more STEM and STEAM instruction into our curriculum, and we are becoming increasingly math and science and technically focused so that we can prepare our students, our children to be competitive in the long run, whether here in New Bedford or elsewhere, hopefully back here in New Bedford. And Siemens has a great role to play. They've done an awful lot of work in Bedford Voc already in the last couple of years in furthering a lot of their technical training as it relates to energy systems and other disciplines, and now we're building them. They're going to be participating in some new programs in the years ahead, and these programs are yet to be formed, but we're in the idea crunching phase right now in the New Bedford public schools. So we look forward to that partnership as well. So there are lots of folks to thank for getting us to this day, and they are many of them, almost all of them are here in this room. So so without any in no particular order, except that they're moving clockwise more or less. Dan Smith from Siemens and Dana Rasmussen from Siemens, Ari Sky, our CFO, all of them worked very hard to, especially on the ESCO agreements, to find a way forward, to find a way where we could have a partnership that worked well for both the city and for Siemens. And this is complicated stuff, and it takes a lot of hard work to get to this point. And so we're very pleased with the efforts that you guys have put in and working patiently through the details. Great savings for the city, but a real great opportunity also for Siemens. I want to note the efforts of Neil Mello, our Chief of Staff, who has been involved in our efforts around Siemens, both certainly in offshore wind, but also in connection with the ESCO agreements. And Neil has been in the thick of this because it is such a high priority for my administration, and it's been given attention given attention by the mayor's office, and Neil's been the one who's been driving it all along. Scott Durkee, our energy director, has been instrumental in making sure that the work that we do with Siemens and the relationship goes in the right way. And again, this is just another example of how New Bedford is way out ahead of other cities, especially in the Northeast, when it comes to energy savings and making our place a leader in the green economy, which is something that we have made a priority, and it has resulted and will result for the next 20 years or so in tremendous savings to New Bedford taxpayers. So and our partnerships with, of course, the school department, which is represented here by John Carvalho on behalf of the superintendent, as well as Bridgewater State. I know that Fred He's a friend. President Fred Clark has been a real great partner with us when it comes to all sorts of things, and so we appreciate Bridgewater's commitment to that as well. So with all that, and of course none of this can happen without the assistance of the City Council. The City Council approved the ESCO agreements. The City Council has been a big supporter in our energy saving initiatives, and City Council, Lars Naomi Carney, is here, who's been a really stalwart supporter of what we're trying to do in the way of making New Bedford a leader in this area, and not just another city that sort of follows behind the pack. And that's what we're really about here. We're not just about just doing the routine things in New Bedford. We're really trying to get our city to reemerge as one of the great cities in the northeastern United States. And so this is, we have, in order to be great, we've got to do these things. And the City Council has been right there with us all along the way. So I appreciate Councilor Carney's support. So with all that, Dana or anybody want to come up on behalf of Siemens? Aha, just as perfect timing. Hey, welcome WBSM. Anyway, so but thank you all for all of your hard work. It's a big deal that we have a multinational company that moved into our city, and one with a reputation like Siemens, and there are great things to come in the long run. So we appreciate all that you've done. Dan, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to add a little bit to what the mayor said, and let me just start off by saying that we are delighted to be part of this community. I think what makes New Bedford unique, honestly, is that it brings, I think, to the partnership both the commercial aspect as well as something that can benefit the community. And from that perspective, that's very important for us in really kind of furthering the partnership. We really admire all the work the city has done in building the green economy and the investments that have been made. That's a very important area for us and a key focus area for us as a company. So we're looking forward really to kind of taking this to the next level, and in particular seeing how we can contribute to the STEM work that's already underway in the school department and really kind of further your efforts in workforce development. Great for us as a company moving into the area. I think very important to our business as well as the community as a whole. So thank you very much, and looking forward to continuing the relationship moving on from here.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
All right, you ready?
Stretch it tight.
Oh, it's hot.
All right, there we go.
Yes.
One
All
cut.
right, you ready? All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Excellent.
Yeah, really good at these.
Yes,
Practice, practice, practice. Lots of ribbon cuttings.
that's great.